Hey everyone, welcome back to Balikbayan Returning Home with Stir Friday Night. I'm Masood, I'll be your guide, narrator, and GM for our game, Balikbayan. It's a narrative tabletop role-playing game heavily inspired by Filipino mysticism and culture that gives everyone at the table equal opportunity. Specifically, it's about a group of elementals, beings of supernatural Filipino folklore, come to life. And we're going to talk all about what happened last time as our group of mythical, magical cyborgs went about their journey on their mission. But first, let's go around and give some introductions. Talk about who each of these wonderful people are, your name, your pronouns, your character's pronouns, and does anyone have a question? Because I've got one in the pocket, but I don't know if you guys are ready for it.
Is this like a Masood question, or is this like a normal question?
This is
Can
my
we
question I
hear it
asked.
before we decide?
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
Can we hear it before we decide?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. 1 horse-sized duck.
Oh,
100 duck-sized horses. It's classic.
To eat or
To
what?
fight.
Someone else have a question?
To eat? No! Guys, you guys got so mad at me when I asked the question about the bodies. I tried to ask a different one. You felt so rude. I went very tame. I went very casual. I was like, okay, I want to make my players know they're safe.
Yeah. Okay. I
with-
feel really safe
You feel
thinking
really
about
safe thinking
being
about
attacked
a
by
master
animals.
duck.
Question.
Seriously.
I'll answer this.
You want no. I'll get a better question. I'll pull up my favorited list that of it's like it's off of.
Are you
an
googling
SEO.
ice question?
No, I've got my own. Okay.
He's googling.
I got a backup
He's totally
question
Googling.
too,
Just
just
random,
in
I
case.
got one.
Yeah, he's googling right now.
Okay.
Stalling.
What
I still
sport
want the
would
main
you like to
character.
compete in professionally if you had the ability and skill to? Let's find out about each other. What sport would you
Oh.
do if you could do it?
Ooh.
Y'all doubted me. Y'all said I couldn't find a good question.
Is this
And look at
like,
all of you go, ooh,
you
moment
really
of
Wait,
wrong.
I know.
Well,
Can I
Is this
go?
like?
Yeah, let's
I've
go.
got a little-
Harrison, start us off. Well,
Okay,
your name, your
um,
pronouns, your character, and
Sure.
run into this answer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Harrison Happen, and I'm playing Ambo, the Golden Hammer of Baguio. Our pronouns are he, him, his, and Ambo's special ability is that I'm a builder. I see the hills behind me. I like to live in tiny little hills. And if I could be a professional player in any sport, it would have to be rugby, I would say.
Yeah. See, that's bold because I saw the one thing I know about rugby, and I had my freshman year of college roommate was really into it. Is that meme picture of that dude in the middle of game who holds up his finger and like half of it's gone? Like that's That's what I think of when I think of rugby. It's just like that. It's vicious.
Wait. Harrison, explain yourself.
Yeah.
What's so great?
What do you love
viciousness?
about what is it about rugby that you love?
What I love about rugby is the physiques of the men. I think I would love to look like that. I think that's the number one.
I see. It's an end to a means. I like that.
Yeah. Wait, but hold on. Is this like, are we the greatest of all time at this sport, or are we just like average?
You can compete professionally, so I don't think you're.
Oh, then yeah, rugby player for sure.
I have a question. Why is this a hypothetical, and why do you not think any of us are capable of playing sports at a professional level?
Because I've
Look at
seen
us. Look at us.
all of you, and I know
played
why you all
football.
do comedy. All right, I get it. No one was captain of their sports team here. I understand.
I was captain of my cheerleading team.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a shot in the dark.
Erica,
Egg on my
always
face.
forget.
Let's.
I was a scholar athlete. Thank you.
Oh well, look at me.
Wow.
I'm really the doofus.
I went to a math and science academy, and I was captain of nothing. So good for you, Erica.
Yeah, rugby player. That's what.
That's what you're gonna do. Absolutely. Well, let's go with Erica next, since you already talked about cheerleading.
Okay.
Is there another sport you'd like to like do professionally, or what's where you're headed?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Erica, and my character is Izzy. She's a saint, which means that she can communicate with the little gods. And if I were to be able to like be competitive, and are we talking? Okay. I need a little clarification. Are we talking about like anything that you would see on like any of the lesser ESPN channels? Because if that's the case, I would want to be a professional poker player.
Oh, I like that. Okay. If we're using ESPN as the bar for engagement, okay. Yeah, I'd say that. Poker is a sport by their standards. What about professional poker are you like super into? Like is it the culture? Is it like do you want your mind to be able to engage in that way? Like
Yeah. I like the idea of like sitting down at a table and like it being about like each person's wits. And I love the idea of lying and being lied to and having that matter a lot.
Yeah.
Erica, can you do your best poker face right now?
Just hit us with a really good poker moment.
Wait, do I have a good hand or a bad hand? Oh wait. Okay, tell me if I have a good hand.
Yeah, that's what we need to guess.
Be independent of your hand.
Yeah, that's what we need
you
to
tell
decide.
Me, and then you'll see if my face changes.
Okay. Well, no,
okay,
that's
you have a good hand.
Well, no. How about this? No. I'm gonna roll a die, and it's gonna be, and then I'll message you, Erica. Okay.
Okay.
Evens are good hands.
Okay.
Odds are bad hands.
Okay.
Okay. Go.
Erica, that's a really good poker face.
That's a good poker face.
You said you're interested in being lied to, right?
No, it was a good poker face because I forgot whether evens were good or bad.
That's part of the game. Who wants to go next? Shu, it seems like your hand was up for a moment. So I wanted to know what sport did you compete in before I so rudely said that none of these people were captains on their sports team.
I briefly swam, but I was never very good because my arm, like you need a very specific like arm to like body ratio, and my arms were just little T-Rex arms, and they were not good for treading water. Mm-hmm. But my name is Shu, and my character is Luzan, and she is a Dewata, which is one of the most of the oldest of these elementals, and she's comprised of the 4 different core elements. A little bit of an avatar, shall we say. She was awoken very rudely by an heiress called Angel Moon, and they fused together, and that's just part of the fun. In terms of the sport that I would do, I would want to go to the Olympics. So I choose archery because that has the lowest bar because a few people care about it. For instance, Gina Davis, after her career kind of petered out because she was, older than 30 or whatever, started taking up archery and ended up going to like the Olympic like pre-trials and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is anyone can do it.
The path to best archer is not so difficult anymore. I like that.
Yeah.
She should have been our Katniss Everdeen.
Gina Davis.
She so good. She was so good in Glow. Oh.
God. All right. Who wants to go next? Yeah.
I'll go.
Joan chimed in first. Joan, hit us with it.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Joan. She, her. I am playing Little, who's a Tikbalang. She's a shape-shifting, shamanistic, robotic character. And the sport I want to, be part of is surfing.
Hell yeah.
Because I tried it this summer and it was the most difficult thing I've ever physically have done.
That's
and
wild.
I thought I would excel at it, but I didn't.
Sure.
It's like a whole body thing.
So crazy. Yeah, it's a whole body thing, balance, like just being able to predict wave patterns, which is something I have no idea, any concept of. So it was super difficult. And there were little 12-year-olds surfing next to us. And they were spot on. They were perfect. But we were just my boyfriend and I, we were just sinking the whole time. So
it's because their brains are sponges. They can just do that right at that point, man. Wow.
Yeah. They also have no bones.
They have no bones.
Yeah.
No bones.
It's why the 12-year-old, 13-year-old snowboarding or whatever, they just they can do 8 flips in the air because their bones are porous. It's amazing.
That's wild.
I watch a lot of Olympics. So this was a tough year, especially for you.
I see.
Their bones are porous, so they can flip through the air. They got holes in their bones.
They're like birds. They have avian
was-
bones. You don't know this about
I was
kids?
making a joke, but when you are younger, like the top caps of your bones do not like fully form, so there's more cartilage, so your bones are less dense until you reach like puberty and adulthood. So that's why like that little like there's like 13, 15-year-old Japanese kid that was doing like it was flying, and I remember watching it being like, oh my god.
Damn, I'm stoked for my bones
at
to
my
solidify.
rock climbing gym. At my rock climbing gym, they have like kids come at certain hours, and they can just go. They're like ones that are really hard for normal people. Also, they don't like stick to like a route. They'll choose whatever they can. But it's really impressive how good they are at it.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad at it. But yeah, so Shu, I agree with you. I mean, not to agree with the fact, but more evidence of you being right. Okay, there.
Usher, do you want to go next? I mean, you haven't done your
Oh,
introduction.
after that, really?
Yeah, after you kind of
I spoke so eloquently just now. Yes, so I will continue speaking. I'm Asra. I'm playing Alien, who is an Aswang, and an Aswang is like an umbrella term, an evil spirit in Filipino folklore. So my character Alien is a soldier, an ex-soldier who turns into Alien from like Alien versus Predator.
The literal xenomorph, yes.
Yes, and
we are not. We own zero rights to this IP. I want you to know that. Like,
please, do not come for us. But our pronouns are she, her, hers, and if I were to be like a professional sport person, I would want to be a professional at curling.
Ooh.
That's the sport I want to do. I want to be the person who follows the ball and like is like scrubbing the ice in front of it so it can go further.
Actually, so
so intense.
I read about this. That you rotate. So like you take.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So like you would have to be good at it all, but I curling I feel is fascinating. I've like become I don't know if there's like a cult following, but I'm like kind of there. Like I've been watching as like this is cooler than cornhole, but kind of the same.
I know when I first heard. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like that's the kind of dream like a Roomba would have. It's like someday I'll be a professional.
I'll be a curling stone. Oh.
Yeah.
What if that's where his ancestors were? That's what he thinks. That's the real thing. That's what it thinks. I come from curling stones.
By the way, Cooler Than Cornhole is a pretty good band name.
Cooler Than Cornhole is a
Cooler Than Cornhole.
Take it, Ben.
All right.
Yeah. But is there any other reason of why you particularly drawn to curling as a sport?
Okay, I think it was because when I first like heard of it, I was like, this sounds so stupid. But then I really like the Olympics also. So it was on and I was in like 0.2 seconds was like, whoa, actually this is really intense and I'm really into this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like the team sport of it and you have to wipe the ice. I think that's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of enthusiasm in that sport. Speaking of a lot of enthusiasm, our resident, most enthusiastic, Ben Cummings, tell us about yourself.
I'm the most enthusiastic? All right, I'll take it. My name is Ben, he, him, his. The character I'm playing is Mr. Ferryman, who is a Santelmo, which is like a ghost robot. It's like a Danny Phantomtron. He is a guy that shepherds the souls between the realm of the living and the realm of the dead. What sport would I want to be good at? I think there's only one answer here, folks. It's boxing. Everything that Harrison said about how everybody who plays rugby is a hot piece of ass applies to boxers too. So you have that physique. And then also all the best sports movies are about boxers because it's a one-on-one thing. It's one person and they all have like personalities. Not like you see like a football player or a basketball player like get interviewed post-game and they're like, yeah, we just really tried to bring it together and get it over the finish line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there are individual athletes who have a lot of personality in those sports, but boxers, you gotta have personality. And there's like element of drama that's not there in team sports.
Would you do instead of boxing? Would you do wrestling?
No.
Or
Why
MMA.
not?
MMA.
Yeah,
that,
there's
that,
more
like,
drama.
less like of the stage production of like the WWE, but like still, you know, it's not planned. It's still a fight.
I mean, I love the WWE, but the drama
you're
of boxing
pretty
is
good
way
at
more. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if I was 200 pounds heavier, but yeah, boxing. I don't know. It's something about like the challenge of like overcoming one person.
Yeah.
Not like the storylines of wrestling. And MMA, I would not as much be interested in because I think there's a lot of interesting pomp and circumstance around boxing that has evolved over the last 100 years of it.
Can I add a pivot to it? Can I like float something by?
You can do whatever. This is your show.
Would you do chess boxing? Would you do speed chess boxing, where you have to play a game of 5-minute speed chess? You do a minute of boxing, a minute of speed chess, a minute of boxing, a minute of speed chess. Would that be
Man, I gotta chess box your ass right out of here.
Oh,
no, I would not do that.
Wait, I have one follow-up question too.
Yeah.
Would you rather box one horse-sized duck?
Get out of
Or-
here. Get out of here. All right. And with that roast, hi, I'm Masood. I'll be your GM. My pronouns are he, him, but I'll be playing an assortment of characters, so they'll be changing as they go out. Yeah, if I could play any sport professionally, I don't know. This is I like want to do part of me wants to do water polo because I used to play water polo and I love that sport. It's a great sport. But also I would like the idea of a random sport that I've like never played before and like somehow just like instantly being good at and like walking up to the pitch and be like, oh, I think I could do it. You know what? Soccer. I wish I could compete competitively at soccer. I'm like nowhere comfortable with my feet like in that sort of way, and like to be able to like suddenly get on the pitch and like run up and down out of nowhere, like, and I think soccer is a big enough game for you to compete professionally, like to show up at like a casual game like and crush. Like I don't know if I think I'd want to be scouted that way. I'd be like a local legend who just like, yeah, I guess I kind of play, and like kind of like come up and just like be a ringer.
I feel like all the dudes chose like really physical like sports, and we're all like, I want to be buff, I want to run. I'm like, we could do that anyways. Like, we don't need to be professional athletes to get super buff and in shape.
Shoot, I'm not 6'2" and jacked. Okay, all right. That's. We all want to be hot pieces of butt. Okay, that's what we want to be.
And we appreciate the romance of the drama of the sport. You know, there's narratives about it.
Just brotherhood and just dudes, just in the scrum, just getting all sweaty and like just doing some team stuff.
Just guys being dudes, my brother.
Dudes being guys.
This show brought to you by masculinity. Dudes being guys.
Dudes being guys. And speaking of masculinity, let's go back to and talk about other things that are fragile. So we're in our last episode, we were discussing the tenuous relationship of Magic's Rebirth and its resurgence in the world. And you all were very delicate and precise in your movements of reactivating the last obelisk and bringing magic back into the world. And in doing so, you also had a little bit of downtime because Ambo had gained the ability, after spending some time with the obelisk, to track it. But Ambo wasn't the only one who had some time alone in the obelisk space in the Cave of Marnar. Folks got up to their own sort of activities there as well. Little had a moment where, in their downtime, sort of explored and noticed that they were the only animal, and you're not actually an animal. You were just sort of inhabiting an empty space, and thought of the resonance and sound that would be here, the cacophony that would exist if it was full of life. And we're kind of reinvigorated in your personal goal and direction, and lure, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Hell yeah. God, remembering stuff, and I've got notes, and I'm like feeling real confident. And this is where it goes downhill, because we also met Franklin and Dranklin, two members of the water cult that you all, with your
Wait,
abilities.
is it Dranklin or Tanklin?
Sorry, my correction. Franklin and Dranklin, and they're clones of Tanklin Jr. And they're members of a water cult. Were just the two of them, and you were able to bring them pure water by reaching out to a little god through Izzy, a singular little god named Jesus Christ, who did a transfer of wine to water, and was able to provide a bit of water to these individuals. They were enthused about it, so excited, we're very grateful, and we're now off to create some sort of mind control potion through this water and disseminate it throughout Circuit City. Classic cult stuff. And Alien went out and was taking regular patrol when they were attacked by someone who looked almost exactly like them. It was in fact their brother Alan. Honestly, Asra, brilliant naming. I was like, when you sent me that, I was like, this is top notch comedy.
Not as good as Franklin and Tanklin.
Yeah, someone could say inspiration happened. But Alien and Alan,
Okay.
Alien and Alan had a moment where they were scrambling and doing a bit of combat under the guise of having a conversation about checking in around Alan's son, who's currently sort of being looked after on Earth in Circuit City. Also alerting Alien that she's being tracked. The Corp is aware of this activity. You guys have done enough to have garnered some attention, and the first scout parties have begun to emerge to sort of put you all in place. Along that note, also Ambo, you had a moment of quiet reflection as you realized that working with this technology and this tracking device, doing what you have to do, you probably left your fingerprints in a lot of places, but because of the rush and because of what had to happen, it doesn't matter who finds him. And we'll see who finds him this episode, perhaps. I feel like I got everything. Anything I miss, folks?
I believe I was communing
Yes.
with the ghosts that were near the obelisk, and found that many old pilgrims had died there.
Many old pilgrims had died there.
It was a holy place for many people.
And
they would croak there.
But no one had truly utilized it or accessed it. They were unaware of its true power. Even so, still was a cherished relic amongst the folks in the area and for generations going back.
Correct.
Nice. Also, you guys fought 4 giant mecha robots that were animals, and the T-Rex was melted because it could not compute existence. The what's it called, the Sabretooth and the Cobra ended up attacking each other and wrapping themselves up. And then the gorilla, you deprocessed him so hard that instead of being a complex computer algorithm capable of semi-sentient life, he was stuck to doing binary computations in the sand with his finger.
Messed up.
And it was a good time. You guys have been having some great moments. I do want to talk to us about and sort of bring this back to the great thing about Balikbayan, the track lines. Are we making our way towards being captured, or are we making our way towards a reckoning? The rebirth of magic. So the reckoning or being captured, or the homecoming. So last time, it's been 2 episodes since we've sort of asked this question, so I want to do the same thing. On this sort of space, am kind of feeling in the same way, it's one on either end. I feel like we've kind of made a moment where there's been another moment of, let me see if I can show folks this at home. Yeah. we have another moment of moving the box one way or another as we make our way in our game. So right now, previously we had a mark on fading and a mark on the run as we're moving our way through. And I think through your work, I feel like it's another one on each of them. I think it's sort of been even in your capacity. I like there has been, you guys have been very successful in your movements and like sort of doing the things that you need to do on your journey to bring back magic and power to the natural world. And in doing so, you've also reintroduced water, and you've like provided access to natural resources that haven't existed in ages. There hasn't been a great deal of stealth also done in these actions.
Not the most subtle group.
No,
You're not supposed to meet your neighbors when you're in hiding?
I mean, some would say no.
What about transforming into a giant mecha elemental?
Yeah, and destroying a piece of the ceiling in order to gain the resources provided from those minerals. Sure. You guys have been clocked by some cameras. There has been some movement of you all, and in that note, we gotta play by the games. We gotta ask ourselves, what happens because of that? So if we move a box towards captured, you got to choose one. One of us pays a terrible price. One of us is reshackled. And this can be sort of abstract. A bond is sacrificed. A hope is shattered. Or you could also say one of us weakens in some way. We lose access to one of our forms of elemental magic. And on the other side, you also get the ability of getting, when you move mark towards Reborn, one of you is revitalized, a new bond is formed. You can choose to free an enslaved somehow in your actions. We can describe how that occurred, and they become someone for you all that we can like introduce and interact with. Or one of you strengthens. You gain the ability of another form of elemental magic.
You know who I would like to free?
Who?
It would make me feel a lot better. That gorilla that's just writing binary code. Like, I feel bad that like we didn't finish him off and he's just like in the woods, like drawing in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were free, maybe he could try painting or do something with his,
So wait,
with
but
the rest
it
of
says
his
here that if we choose to free an enslaved and they join they will join our cause and then become an important character moving forward. So we could have a Kong bot or whatever.
A robo gorilla for me to voice. Please don't tell me it's Christmas because it sounds too soon.
We're gonna have to name it. We have to name him Donkey Tron.
Donkey Tron! Oh no! What a gift! Hey, I'm Donkey Tron the gorilla.
That's super good. That's great.
It's pretty good.
That's great. That's really good.
Yeah, I can roll with that. That feels fair.
And then let's kill off Harrison's character.
No.
Can I offer a suggestion for this one, because I think this feels kind of fair and it rolls a little bit with the narrative. I think Ben, I hate to do it to you. I think you weaken a little. I think the attack.
Didn't I pay for the first one?
What did you pay for the first one?
Can't remember.
No. Someone's no. Joan did. Jones,
oh, that's right.
Right, because Triton's
no longer someone you guys can
us.
rely on or count on.
We did hack into his system and steal all of his memories, so I think that one.
We got some embarrassing pictures of Triton.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll weaken. Yeah. Let me look at which form of my elemental magic. I'm putting the team on my back.
Let me explain. Here's what I'll say.
I literally carried you out of the forest.
I think that's part of it. I think for you just lose the ability to fly and float. That sort of hover skill that you had gained, because of the damage that you got swiped and sort of knocked over. Ambo fixed you up. He gave you new legs, but they don't.
Horse legs, yeah.
Yeah, they've got these robo horse legs, they don't collapse and compact into the original design. It was kind of like a patch job. So I just think.
Great. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be an earthbound ghost now.
Okay, perfect. I'm just, I think. I love you guys, and I just want to make sure that we all agree to what's happening, and it feels fair. It feels so fair.
No, I chose to get hurt on that one. That one makes sense.
All right, but and the same ability, like, you still have all of your other actual elemental powers. You still have everything. Your core processing unit itself, your connection to the spiritual realm, to Sulad, is unfettered, as we sort of saw with the way that you interacted in the temple within the cave. And
Sweet.
so, with that, having answered those two questions, let's jump right back into it. What do you guys get up to? We awaken on a day after you all have sort of been making friends with your neighbors, sort of getting situated in your place. It's been enough time for where Ambo said, like, yeah, the project will be done. How do you let folks know that your walkie is now compatible with? What do you do? Do you make your walkie compatible with tracking? Do you build a separate device? What does it look like as you're working?
I connect everybody. I connect everybody's devices to my device, so we could all see the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I also made it. I remember the last one. I made it so that everybody's knives and swords that I made, it'll light up a little like brighter if once we get closer to the next obelisk.
Ooh.
I love that.
And I tell everybody at breakfast.
Okay, so you guys awaken. What is that? Yeah, it's like, here your knives, here your thing. Also, we'll talk about that later. Never mind. But yeah, so you guys are sitting around the table at breakfast. Ambo comes in with a bag behind him, throws the bag on the table, it opens up. It's all your weapons. Nobody knows how he got them from you, but you could have sworn you all had them on your persons in some capacity or in your rooms. But here they are, back again with some sort of adjustment or attunement attached to it. Explains... what does it look like? You sort of explain this and sort of describe that you also upgraded their phones while they were asleep.
Oh, okay, so all right, everybody. I take out my phone and I press some buttons there, and it lights up everybody's phone. Everybody gets a message. It's like, all right, everybody should have the same tracking ability as I do, with limitations. Everybody with limitations, all right?
Come on.
It looks like this obelisk is going to be down deep below. We know we have the trackers on all of our phones. Also, I took the liberty of, while you all were sleeping, adjusting your knives and your swords so it could be a little bit brighter. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And
Does
then
the phone come with any games now?
Yes, Snake.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Great. Now we should probably eat really quick and go, because I just found out we're being tracked.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I was making
am-
Dutch babies. You guys don't want to have the Dutch babies? They're almost done.
I love a Dutch baby, but
Your
I don't know
food
if we
is
have
great,
time.
Izzy.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'll turn off the oven.
How do you know we're being tracked?
I'm not at liberty to say. You just have to trust me.
I don't know if I could trust in a swung.
Oh, okay. After everything we've been through together, you still don't trust me?
You took
Yeah, I
our
don't know.
phones in the middle of the night and then
Yeah,
put snake on
let's
them,
talk about
and you
trust,
can
Ambo.
trust alien.
Yeah, I let you fix my legs and now I can't fly. What's up with that, Umbo?
You kicked me in the
Ambo.
face, Mr. Ferryman.
Deserve.
Oh, what is this, a tit for tat thing? That we're friends here.
Yeah. I just go back to eating my,
I mean,
my out of the cauldron.
stay here, and we don't go.
Going in and out
What-
there, alien.
Yeah.
Alien.
Sorry.
Could
Nope.
someone translate
Can you hear
aflong
me
to me? I don't know.
now?
Maybe
I
I'm.
think
We can hear you now. You're clear. What were you saying?
You can hear me now?
Mhm.
I was just saying stay here and get caught and we'll go.
I would like to not get caught. I think we should go.
Yeah, I'm with pony legs over there. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
let's go.
I leave fast as hell on my horse legs.
Wait, put me in your backpack.
Okay, I come back super fast.
It's like because you only have two, so it's interesting.
It
to
looks
see.
so weird.
It's
Yeah,
you're more
it
of a
looks wrong.
satyr than like a centaur.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a tikbalang, honestly. I gave him tikbalang legs.
Little you look, you're like, those are my model. So you guys decide to at least for now vacate the premises. Don't want to stay present for too long, and make your way tracking down on your phones where the signal seems to be going stronger for the next obelisk, the next fountain source of magic. Making your way, you navigate through the city, directing under Ambo's direction the fact that you were going deeper and deeper. And as you climb from your ring to the fourth ring, from your ring on the fourth ring to the fifth, and then subsequently the sixth, you get to the center and realize that there's not, in fact, an elevator service to get down to the sixth ring. The fact of the matter is the sixth ring is basically, as you get to it, the size of a 4-foot diameter well. And as you look up, you see the ever expanding rings going out further and further, pulling away, showing more and more of the city. This is the center, sort of the faucet, the plug hole of Circuit City, where all the acid flows ever so gently now down through.
Who wants to jump into the acid? Anybody? No.
Is anybody acid proof?
You guys could take a look inside to see if there's places where you could stand that aren't acid filled, but at least from here you just sort of see the now steady stream sort of trickling in.
I just want to tell everyone I would love to float down there and scout it out without touching the acid. I can't.
Could we? I'm sorry, Mr. Ferryman. Could we, Izzy? Can you create a little bird god to go down
I
there?
don't create gods. I talk to the little gods. But
yeah, could you talk to a little god?
some little gods that could be useful. There is the river cult. They've got they you know how they drown people in the acid?
I don't like the river cult. No, yeah.
Well,
I think they're kind of cool because they're like super into making like like little acid fish that eat you, and I for one am kind of I like that. That's a lot of
the
ingenuity.
river cult used to bully me.
Everyone bullied you, Ambo. That was just probably how
I'm sorry to hear that, Ambo.
Yeah, shut up, Ambo.
But
Okay, hold on. Disable all your phones
What?
until you say sorry.
Oh man,
Ambo.
You say sorry.
Great.
Until you say
Middle of the
sorry.
game.
Way too much power.
All right, Ambo.
Look at him, he's
Jeez,
pouting.
we're sorry.
You're right. I can't do that. I can't disable it. Okay, I made it so that it can't be disabled.
Wait.
You called my bluff.
Ambo, what if you build like a little mechanical like acid snake and it could scout for us and let us know how deep
Are you
the well
kidding
is?
me? It just took him 3 days to build that other thing.
Yeah,
Let's
as much
I was
as
pony
much as I
legs.
want to give, as much as I want to build something, it's. No, I think I want to call on the little god.
Yeah,
I need some tokens to build stuff. So I don't need that. No, Sorry, Luzon. Sorry. I think we settled with the little god. I think
That's fine. That's fine. I'm glad you're adopting that min-max lifestyle.
I'm kind of maxed at what I could build for the day. So
I text everybody in our group text we have without Ambo on our phones, and I text everybody, "Jeez, Ambo's on one today."
Why is everybody looking at their phones?
I want to.
Who sends an emoji back? What's the response?
I do a thumbs up back.
Yeah, I want to do the exclaim, react, tap back.
Yeah. I just
Okay,
heart
and then
everything on the screen.
Then it says, I have an Android, so mine says alien laughed at, and then in quotes, my whole text.
Emphasize. It says alien emphasize.
It says alien emphasized. That's right.
Emphasized.
200 years from now, the Android
As a proud Android user, I'm excited about it.
All right.
Still haven't figured out how to make compatible emojis.
Or how about you guys just rope me up and throw me down there? I mean, if everybody, everybody's being so mean to me today.
Wait, are we gonna get the little god or not? Can we get a little god?
I like this idea of throwing Ambo down there now that he's brought it up himself, but we can get a little
turn
god.
into? Oh, I was gonna say, can little turn into something that can swim in the acid? Is that?
Acid fish.
Yeah.
Acid fish.
Yeah, I
Snake
guess it could turn into like an acid-proof, like jellyfish or a fish.
Okay, for this, I need you to prove that such an animal exists. So just hit your Google with a quick search of an acid-proof fish. If an acid-proof fish exists, I will let you turn into one. That is the parameter because you turn into animals.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only rule and stipulation I'll put.
Okay, so I am gonna turn into an amazing acid-proof ant.
Oh!
Wait. Actually, according to Google, despite unfavorable conditions, a single species of fish, Asuraisan dace, lives in extremely acidic lake, pH 3.5, not good, in Asanrozan, Aomori, Japan. Physiological studies have established that the fish is able to prevent acidification of its plasma and loss of salt.
Okay. Hit me with a Google image of it, and I will try to share it with chat.
Oh, it just looks like a fish. Just looks like a fish.
I'm sure by if this is what's happening in our time, by the time that this game is happening, though there will be more fish that are acid proof.
I will try to put this
Sadly.
in chat and see if this can get through.
The lamest animal to turn into. Look at that thing.
All right.
It's special.
I like it. I think I tried. Let me see. I'll also do it this way.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
Perfect.
Ooh, and now I have a new fish blog I can read. Nice.
There you go. Because we all need more of those. Oh,
Love a good fish blog.
love a good fish
Yeah,
blog.
I
Who
don't
doesn't?
read blogs for fish. Nope, that'd be weird. Yep. Okay.
1 second. I accidentally minimized my zoom. I'm just gonna fix it real fast.
So just to be
are we
clear-
settling on the fish
Well,
thing?
just,
Yeah. So yeah.
I guess so, but
Well,
to be clear, this is no one's lure. So we're just making a
crazy.
but
You
like
can
a
play.
weak
You can
move
also
again.
just play the. It looked like everyone's adopting Mr. Ferryman's method of just playing the game without min-maxing.
Play for the story, my friends.
all right.
I love it. So I shouldn't have taken a bite of
Is
this
this what we're
pizza as
settling
soon
on?
as
Are we
I
gonna do a
said that.
vote?
At the very least, Little
Are we
can
gonna do a
scout
vote?
and sort of see what is down there by transforming into this fish.
It's not about the tokens we get. It's about the friends we make along the way and the tokens I get. Thank you.
Okay, we yes, that makes sense for Miss wanting to be a gold medalist as easiest as possible. So, Little, you decide to transfer in. You transform into this fish. You hop in. You drastically anamorph down into this tiny little. I'm gonna say it correctly. The what is this called? I'm trying to find the name. It's difficult.
Asarazan Days.
Asarazan Days. Look at that.
Asarazan? It's Japanese.
Japanese.
A reason. Asa means morning.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a morning days.
Well, as you think of the bright breakfast that you had, you hop into this acid, and you sort of dip down and you look and you splash in and kind of swim up to the surface and see that you're not in a pool of acid. You're not in a lake. Down the pipe, you look down. This is a sewer system. There are, what's it called? Like sort of walkways running along the flows of the acid as it goes around and pulls out through. Because, guys, originally Circuit City had fresh water. This is what the irrigation that the city had sort of built. And so this is the infrastructure that you're now in, deep below, underneath the city. And so as you all are in this space, as a little you look around and you see, you hazard a guess that if you guys could figure out a way just to like safely get down the what's called the well itself, like through that, avoiding any of the like acid that's splashing, you could get onto the walkways and sort of begin scouting the location out. Here comes the most difficult question. Mm-hmm. How do you get back out? Is there a time limit on your shapeshift, or do you like swim up, jump up in the air, and switch into a bird? What occurs in this process?
I feel like the acid's so strong.
Yeah.
And like it's like kind of suffocating my gills, and I feel like it's time to, remerge into the out of the sewer system. So yeah, I'm just like swimming and I just come out, and
I love it. You swim so hard. It's like a salmon going upstream where you sort of bounce off the stream of acid that's pouring up from above, splash one last moment, and land on your feet as a regular person. Regular magic cyborg on the sixth ring. On the sixth ring.
What's it look like down there?
Over. You have to say over.
Well, she's back.
She's literally standing in front of you.
I was facing the other way. Sorry.
Because you're on my back.
Missed the entire magical transformation sequence? Man, Ambo.
You're always missing everything.
I'm on Mr. Ferryman's back.
Everything's just corroded, I see all these dirty pipes. There's like rusted robotic parts. It just feels like a dumping ground.
Interesting.
And I did see a weird hole going into the city.
A hole?
Mm-hmm.
Little starts to describe a little bit of this pathway, and that was kind of dug into the side wall of the structure, and like sort of laying out how is the sewer system. But particularly as she was swimming, she saw something that wasn't an intentional design, something that clearly came after this place was already built, and just recognized that it was there. You all might not be alone down here.
Well, who wants to go second down there? Are we all going down?
Should we get the whole group down?
I think so.
Okay.
Do it.
It seems like now that we've done the scouting, it's the right place to go. So let's all head down there. I can call upon the little god of the river cult, because as part of their practice of drowning people in the acid river, they beseech their little god for protection during this ritual, and and so they're able to enter the river, pulling in their sacrifice without themselves being affected by the acid. So we can ask this little god for the same protection, but I'm afraid they might ask us to make a sacrifice.
I pick Ambo.
What?
We can sacrifice Ambo anytime.
All right,
Yeah.
Luzon. Here, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna hack into your social media profiles and
Best
make it an
friends, aren't
Ambo
we?
show. Yeah, I'm going live. Okay, I'm going live to
Aw.
expose
That's
you.
interesting. I wonder if Luzon, if you put something out there, maybe one of your fans would sacrifice themselves for you.
Yeah, ask your fans to die for us.
Yeah, ask your fan.
Well, I only have like 2 million or so subscribers, but I'm sure one of them can do it, right?
You gotta have
Is
some
this
stand.
too dark? Is this too dark?
It's great. I let
Hold
go.
on,
Of
wait,
I
if-
let go of control, and this is we're talking about
We
human
so
sacrifice.
hold on, no,
You got
but
there so
if we
fast.
go live to all of our followers, won't people know where we are?
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
thank you for
shoot.
saying that.
Yeah.
Thank
Know
you,
where
thank
we
you for
are?
bringing-
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
So,
Oh, I'm so
Ambo,
mad.
back
I
on
was
the
like,
table.
I was
That's
gonna
the
have so
reason
much
it's a
fun.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah,
Good
everything
thing.
else is fine.
Good thing I have this metal rope. Okay, this metal rope that we could just throw down there, and we could all just climb down.
No.
We all have to go down there anyway.
But you just have a metal rope that protects us from
that's-
acid.
It's not gonna
Wait,
Well,
Protect you from
it won't
acid?
protect you from acid. You'll have to like somehow. You guys have your acid umbrellas still. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
but
float
it's-
Float
down the
on the
acid
acid.
river
yeah, just
on upside
the
down
umbrellas?
acid umbrella.
they'll
Oh,
carry your weight.
my
Well, you guys can
God.
check it out. I love this idea. You guys sort of drop this rope down and pull your umbrellas up, sort of scooting on using 3 of your limbs, making your way. It coils neatly on the corner of one of these sort of cross sections. So you would be on, if you're looking directly down, cardinal directions don't really matter, but from here, if this is a start point, you would land on the northwest corner of this intersection. And so there's just going north in however untold many thousands of feet is a pathway going east, going west. But yeah, you're on like sort of this northwest cross section, and you've got the acid around you, and you guys get down, and as you get down there, you realize also this walkway, maybe from Little's perspective as a fish, it appeared very large, but as you get down, it seems that is in fact only big enough to be like really like kind of single file. So as you're exploring, you're gonna have to put yourself into an order. What order do you all establish yourself?
Ambo and I are a team
Yeah.
because he's.
It doesn't this isn't for like status or priority. So,
no, I know. It's just I'm on his backpack.
Yeah.
I'm in his backpack, so
Yeah.
I have to be right after Mr. Ferryman.
I see.
Unless if
A
Mr.
stacking.
Ferryman wants to walk backwards, which doesn't make any sense. But
I'll take the first spot. I know it's the most dangerous, but I can pull out my sword of bravery, which will glow in front of us.
oh.
And then I'll just be like really cool at the front of the wall. Like, no.
Hell yeah.
No, but I feel like this is my this is sort of my wheelhouse as a saint. So I'll lead us into the darkness.
Okay, and we'll go second because if you die, then I can transfer your soul to the underworld
Underworld. I'm a saint.
or afterlife. Oh, okay.
It was nice of you to offer.
could Alien get our back? Alien, can you do
Yeah.
that? Because
I can.
we're scared about this people behind us. If anything comes from behind us.
And then
Yeah.
that
I'll
leaves
get the end.
Little and Luzone. Where do you all feel you guys would stack up? Who ends up closer with Alien sort of in the rear, and who ends up kind of directly in the middle?
I could go second to last. I could transform into, something last minute if something bad happens.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I'm an heiress on this planet, so yeah, I would mark myself as probably the least to give in this order right now.
Most protected.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
You're also probably at this point like the smallest as Ambo's being carried. So, I was just thinking of I was always the youngest, so I always had to sit in the middle seat of the back seat. It's kind of like this moment as you all are sort of walking along.
Yeah.
Going in sort of a descending.
That's the worst seat.
It is the worst seat.
Luzon won't stop talking.
I was just gonna say I have so many people more to speak to. I can talk to this person and then this person. Like this is really the best case scenario for me.
You're walking right behind Mr. Ferryman's backpack too, so I'm inside the backpack and you're just annoying the crap out of me.
Hey Ambo, I just wanted to let you know I have some ideas about your next updates. Like, do you know? Have you ever considered why are you hitting your head so hard?
Trying to be in line with the steps so it itself hits himself. So as you guys are making your way down, you're navigating. As you pull out your sword, it shines with its glimmerance. Gazing around way through, you also pull out some flashlights functions on your walkies, displaying a little bit of more luminescence as you're sort of progressing along. I'm about to ask you a tough question, and I have been dreading asking you this question all week. I've been thinking about it since I knew that this is where we were going, and I just want you to know I really value you guys. How do you all get separated?
Even me and Ambo.
Well, that's the thing. Do Ambo and you get separated? Does somehow Ambo just get lifted out of nowhere? But how do you all have always been able to go wherever you guys have wanted as a group and never once been challenged in some capacity to be pulled apart. And so that is what this episode's going to feature on. How do this line of individuals get separated underneath Circuit City? I'm gonna mute myself.
Could I get stuck on something on like one of the a sticky, less acidy thing? Like, because I'm on a backpack and then we're just walking by and I just so happen to get stuck on it and I get pulled out and I'm just hanging there like that. I'm like, help, and nobody's listening to me.
I think this is great. You guys are walking along and you're making your way forward and you have the sword in front of you giving you some light, and it's bright. It's sort of shining through it, but Alien and Little and Luzon, you guys are like talking and you're like Luzon's chatting. Little and Alien, you guys are trying to drone that out, so looking at the ground more so. And Luzon, you're sort of on your phone. Somehow you still have service, so you're like sort of going through your feed, talking about what's coming across, these great products that someone's promoting. And in doing so, no one sort of sees the pipe with a bit of a valve sticking out of it. That's below Mr. Ferryman's height, but as he ducks down to get under it completely, doesn't notice he pops up a little too fast, and it catches on Ambo's collar. And just so happens that the rest of you all don't really see it, and Ambo, you're kind of like don't really notice it at first, but suddenly you're aware that you're no longer bouncing, your hands aren't really hitting your head, drowning out what Luzon is saying, and you're by yourself now in the sewer. I want to talk about what happens next. How long is it before the group notices Ambo's disappearance?
Well, the area we're walking in right now, is it like sewer tunnels?
They are, I would say they are tunnel-like in that it is a half-circle structure. These are clearly, they were created in a manner for utility and function. If there was a drainage issue, if there was some sort of stoppage, people could come down and sort of work and sort of look at it. But as you see and you gaze around, you also start to understand the further you go out and you're looking, there are more stairways that lead up. Because the way the city works, basically it's an upside down, it's a cone that is upside down, and as you're underneath it and walking around in this three-dimensional space, it extends higher and higher in its cylinder counterpart. So there is a lot of vertical space to explore, but so far you all have been sort of staying on this first track. I imagine at some point, I think one of you realizes this and goes to consult Ambo about at what point do you know the what's it called? When will the tracking device tell us that we need to raise our elevation? Is when you guys catch that he's not there.
And we each have like 40 missed texts from him.
But we had muted that channel because
Yeah.
he was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, are you guys seeing your phones right now?
When did I lose Ambo? I was right here. I thought he was there, but I don't know. This new body, I can't tell if there's a weight on my back or not. I should probably go back, guys. I can go get him. I think I know which way we came.
Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
How are you gonna get around? How are you gonna get around Luzone, little
I
alien?
can go get him if I'm at the end.
Can I just slip by you guys and go get him? Because he's supposed to be
your
my
legs are
backpack.
kind of hard. I feel like we're gonna get kicked in the face a little if you walk past. I
Okay,
swear,
well, I
humans-
guess we'll just leave him.
No,
I
alien.
can get him.
Yeah,
Okay,
alien
fine.
can do it. Yeah, I'm so sorry, you guys.
Don't
I was
believe
just
me?
no.
Wait,
I just
are you
don't
guys? If I could still float, would you guys let me go get him, or are you guys not letting me because I can't float anymore? You can be honest.
You gotta let that go,
Yeah,
Mr.
you gotta let that
Fairy.
go.
It's
Like
you're
you're
not
the
gonna.
only one still thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're here and we're here, so let's move that way.
Okay, fine.
And so,
Okay.
Alien, you decide to head back and go, and you guys are you're like, oh, I guess we'll just wait.
Oh,
'cause-
can I send a text to Mr. Ferryman as I'm leaving and say, "Haha, sucker"?
I
I'm gonna-
emphasize it.
It's gonna find out when you die.
Okay.
And so, remember the question was, how do you all get separated? So,
Ooh,
as you're
do I
waiting
get
and
lost?
sitting and you're trying to find Ambo, it ends up being quite a little bit before Alien, you guys realize, Alien, where is Alien? She should have been back by now.
I told you guys that I should have gone. I can still be useful, even with pony legs. Let me go now. I'll go find Alien. I'll find Ambo. I'll bring him back. I will horse kick you if you don't let me go.
Ooh, I don't want to get kicked by the little feet. They're so cute, but
I mean, go get him, bring him back.
Mr.
Come back
Fairman
quickly.
Yeah.
skittles
Hey.
through,
Text us if you're not gonna come back.
homping his
Yeah.
hooves.
I mean, we could have sent, acid fish, but no, I guess Ponyboy should go. Yep.
And as you're making your way through, Mr. Fairman, you're looking. I want to cut back to what has happened to Ambo and Alien a little bit. Ambo, you're stuck on your hook. You're waiting. You've texted and texted and texted, and no one has responded. And you're kind of like, you struggle. Imagine eventually your collar rips. You like fall down, scuff your knee a little bit, pick yourself up, fix your hat. Take your phone, start walking, and right as you round the corner, a bag gets put over you, and you are cinched up. Alien, as you're walking your way through, looking for Ambo for any sign of him, you make your way around the corner and see his hat on the ground. Pick it up, notice a little bit of the scent on it begin to trace. And as you're running across the pathway that you think is right, you look to your right quickly at one of these like man-made holes, and before you know it, two pairs of hands grab you and pull you into the darkness. What do Izzy, Little, and Luzon do as you all are waiting for Mr. Ferryman, who is still wandering and looking?
Should we just keep going? I mean,
Izzy's the worst. Izzy does not care.
Izzy is the meanest.
Not a saint at all.
We gotta
Nope.
get this job done.
Yeah,
I love
everyone
it.
thinks it's me,
I
but
love
it's
it.
Izzy.
Izzy is the
I mean, is that
worst.
crazy? Should
No.
just keep going? Like,
I mean, but
I don't
you
know why
guys,
they're not coming back.
you guys are on a you're what's more important, the mission or your friends? I mean, it's worth pondering. You all knew this is a dangerous task. Like, you all had your hesitations, but I don't know. Izzy might does have a statement with some clarity behind it.
Yeah, I
I thought earlier she was saying we were all friends.
You're gone, but
We're
Oh.
friends, but like, I don't know. Do we need to get this done?
I think we should wait because we are stronger together than we are apart. That's what my best friend Ambo would say if he was here right now with us. So I don't know. Maybe we should just all like fan out, figure it out. I don't know. I'm in the middle of a game of Snake, so I mean, I'll do it in a minute.
Listen, if you guys want to wait, that's fine. I think I'm going to keep going forward. At least then I'll be able to text you back and report where the obelisk is. Maybe I could even turn it off myself.
Yes, but could
Turn
you
it
do
on,
it in a
whatever.
new group chat because I muted all the ones with Ambo on it. So
Yeah, I'll do that.
thanks, Izzy.
Izzy,
Yeah,
you turn
I-
around. Oh yeah, Little.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I agree with Izzy. I think we should just keep going.
So Luzon,
Okay.
will you just wait there then?
I'm just gonna wait for our friends because that's what's really important. Nothing will happen to me here. I'm certain of it.
All right. Well, we're gonna go,
Mhm.
and when they catch up to you, when they get back here, just let us know, okay?
Okay, I will let you know as soon as I finish this game of Snake.
Harrison, are you still here, or is this like an extensive bit where you disappeared? I think I like this extensive bit. Thank you, Harrison.
Bit.
And so
It's a good bit.
it's a classic bit. Joan, Little, and Izzy, you guys make your way. You continue going. Luzon, you're kind of by yourself. And Mr. Ferryman, as you're making your way around, you're looking. You can't help but begin to hear the call of other. Well done. Well done.
Sometimes it disappears.
Sometimes it disappears. It's too good.
Is that a rice? No. Is that a Trader Joe's bag?
It is a Trader Joe's bag. Shout out Trader
I like
Joe's.
that they survived.
Yeah, they survived. That was the bag that got put over Ambo.
It's the good customer service.
It's
and
good.
A great product.
But Mr. Fairman, as you're making your way around, you hear the call, and it's a little easier, I think, for you to hear than anyone else because it's not the acid that's calling to you, but it's all the souls who have ever volunteered to go in. And it's quiet at first and you don't notice it as you're moving your way through, but then it begins to get a little louder and a little more incessant. And before you know it, you see yourself walking up some steps further and further into the actual underbelly of the city. We come back to Luzon waiting and sitting by themselves. We move to Izzy and Little, walking around and I think that's honestly the smash cut. Is Luzon is just like sitting there on their phone playing Snake.
This is a great game. I don't know why people stop playing this game.
Cut to Izzy and Little walking around through the path, still on this base level, carrying the sword, glowing, drawing you further towards your purpose. As you are making your way through, I want to ask who gets grabbed by whatever comes out of the acid first.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, Izzy gets grabbed then.
Oh, man, I was in the nose.
Oh, I thought you
That,
were pointing
that's
at
the
yourself.
meta play.
Nose goes, you're
That's
just
the
pointing
meta
at
play.
yourself.
I love it.
Oh no! I mean, I'll get grabbed, but
Yeah.
I was.
Well,
playing
to be fair, I said grabbed first. And so, just to depict what happens, as you guys
I'll play
are
Little.
rounding the corner, sort of trying to jump across. Remember that the way I described it is that the actual acid itself flows in sort of cross directions underneath the city. But in doing so, there's these strips along either side. And throughout this sort of space as you've been walking, as you get to the moment when you have to cross like the actual acid, there's been bridges like they're built over. Some of them have decayed over the years. You have to like skip a few steps. This is the first time you've seen the bridge sort of not be there. And so, Izzy, I think because you're in front anyways, you ready yourself and realize you're just gonna have to jump it. It's not too bad. You can make it. And you ready, you charge, and you clear it. You get to the other side, comfortable. And Little, you look up, you get ready. And as you get down to sort of like get in your runner stance is when you hear the splash, and Izzy begin grappling with a 4-armed sludge-like creation that begins pulling itself out and sort of making its grab towards you. I think of it a mixture between a Cronenberg creature and Muck from Pokemon. And as it's an amalgamation, its 4 arms, 2 on one side, 1 above of its head, and 1 through its left side, begin pulling and sort of grappling at Izzy. Little, you begin to get up and sort of make a movement, and before you know it, someone grabs you from the back, and a similar but the way a snowflake is like any other snowflake, another one of these sludge-like creatures begins to raise itself out of the acid and grab you, and as you struggle and fight, before you know it, the fumes of the acid monsters themselves begin to put you to sleep. And Luzon, as you're sitting there playing your game, you get a little sleepy yourself. It gets a little drowsy, getting a little quiet, doing really well, but you did die, so I guess you could start over, or you could just maybe take a nap for a little bit. And you don't see the 2 hulking creatures round the corner as you begin to doze off. And that's where we're going to go to break. We're going to come back after the break and talk about what has occurred with... Oh, no, don't raid now. Don't raid now. We're very excited that you're here. Thank you for coming by. This is great. We were just about to go to break. But thank you. We're going to be back in like 10 minutes. Yeah, all of our party has been separated in the undercity of Circuit City in an acid-filled sewer system. And we're just going to get right back to it in a moment. See you all very soon. And let me do the thing where I remember how this works and press the right buttons.
Harrison's still got the bag on his
He's still got the bag on his head. This has been such a good commitment. All right. See y'all in a moment.
Okay.
And we're back. It's Balikbayan
baby.
returning home. Last we left off, we had all of our heroes and champions and magic cyborgs being separated amongst the intricate acid sewer of the Circuit City. And as they'd all been sort of captured and taken by a mysterious force, we cut back to Mr. Ferryman walking their way with their robot legs, guided by some sort of call. And as the voices direct you towards passage, deeper and deeper towards whatever these people sacrificed themselves for was here. And so as you get farther and farther, you eventually walk in and see yourself into a space that is illuminated by the acid itself.
glowing acid.
As it pools and drips down from the wall at the edge of this cavern. You see its neon green fluorescent coloring shine out onto the space as it drips and falls into a pool that begins to seep somehow into the ground underneath. You see standing at the base of it on a small pedestal is an obelisk, very similar to the one that you saw in the Cave of Marner. But as you enter and the voices seem to shake you from your reverie as upon gaze of the obelisk reminding you of your journey here, you also see what is around you, which is your friends and companions seem to be waking up, shaking off whatever sort of adherent or addition knocked them out. The bag over Ambo's head gets pulled off, and you see you all are sort of in, besides Mr. Ferryman, in chains onto the ground. It's just like on your knees with your hands sort of bound and spread out in a half circle with your backs to the obelisk, though you could look at it if you wanted to sort of move around. Upon walking in, you also see rising from the acid from the earth a sludge monstrosity, bringing itself forward, towering, heaving, going to about like 2 stories high, so 20 feet up. It's now operating at 6 limbs, sort of one core body mass, but sort of off-ending, trailing limbs of slime and sludge as it drips and goops its way closer towards you. And as the group of you gaze upon it, you hear a voice call out to you all as it goes, "You've arrived. The new sacrifices for the city, perfect, and an officiant to guide them to Sulad on their journey. How wonderful. We haven't done this right in ages. And you begin to see some like people begin to poke their faces out through the cracks of the cavern, famished and clearly malnourished, pulling themselves through. They look more like mummies than they do human beings. And as these individuals be like, yes, the acid calls, and so we answer. And they pull forward. What do y'all do?
Yeah, we're dealing with a 20-foot sludge monster with 6 limbs. And
all bound, right?
You're all bound except me.
You're in chains, and Mr. Fairman stumbled upon this call, realizing that it was, in fact, everything that all the souls that had sacrificed themselves to the acid have now amassed themselves within for this consciousness that now exists in the acid itself.
And then there's a bunch of mummy freaks who are climbing out of the walls.
Yeah, like sort of getting their way through.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that thing.
Very off-putting.
Yeah. Something about this action, like with gross hands, is terrible. Maybe it's because like birth. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, because babies be doing that.
Man, sex education in this country, really.
Oh, you didn't go to a small white town in the middle of nowhere? Yeah.
Can you transform into like a smaller animal so you could slip out of the chains?
Yeah, I could transform again. Maybe like a Minnie Mouse.
A Minnie Mouse? This is
The actual Minnie Mouse.
Oh, Minnie Mouse!
We can't get. I don't want to get sued.
We'll get.
No. I'll talk to Walt. I'll get him on board. I got
Hey,
James
talk to his
Ridley. I got Mr.
cryogenically
Ridley
frozen head.
on our side. Sorry, Mr. Cameron. Who's behind Alien? Who's the director that's behind that series?
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott,
That's what it is. Thank you, Mr. Scott. I'll call him up. We'll be in cahoots.
Yeah, can you change and let us out? Let us out of our chains.
Yeah, so I transform into like a little country mouse, like a field mouse, and then
a tiny mouse. Some would say.
Country, yeah.
Trademark. I see that. I see you, Masood.
There you go.
It's a mouse with a cowboy hat.
He's got fingerless gloves. See, they're fingerless. But so you change into this country mouse and you scurry along to the chains and begin to pull them apart. It's not too difficult for you, especially with the size of your hands now. You can actually kind of get into the locks themselves, and slowly but surely, as this sludge, it's not the fastest. It's making its way closer to you all, and these husks sort of begin crawling and moving their way towards you as well. That you begin having some time to sort of get everyone out of their chains. As you unlock all of everybody else, Mr. Ferryman, what are you getting up to?
I don't know how useful I'll be against the sludge monster, but I want to use a neutral move to search for signs of the dead and of death and the dying. Mm-hmm. Are these mummies dead? I want to know.
Ooh.
You look at them. It's hard to describe them as dead. Their souls are gone. The spark, the individuality, what gave them free will, has disappeared. And what is in its place is something that is kind of filling the void. Like whatever happened when this body was thrown in, any one of these bodies were thrown into the acid before they were plunged out of their baptism, there was a swap. And so the soul got washed away and something else, mindless, was put in its place. And you would hazard a guess that whatever's inside the sludge has been consuming that, and depending on your success, you might have a new group of family and friends very soon. You're going to be closer to these husks than you are to your current state, I should say.
I see. I tell everybody, they don't got souls. They're okay to kill. And I take out my ghost sword.
And just begin murdering and sense of like just cutting down. No. So yeah,
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. They're still a little bit of ways, but they're amassing towards you. You would say it's not overwhelming. It's not like 1,000 bodies are crawling out of these walls, but it is troubling. It's at least many dozen pushing their way through.
Wait, Masood, did you just set us up to fight one horse-sized duck at the same time as 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized soul duck.
We're doing both.
I wish I was that type of storyteller to have given such a breadcrumb at the start and have it pay off this hard. But
You should have just said yes.
I should have said yes.
You
I'm
should have
yeah, dude. You got it. Hey.
And this is
Brilliant.
master storytelling, Missy.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Roll 20. Thank you. I appreciate this constant and ever support. BC69, I see you out there. Thank you for understanding what we call.
Yeah, that guy knows a lot about improv.
Clearly. So
I would say my
Or a woman.
Yeah, let's not assume.
yeah. And so
second
you
time
all are getting situated as these individuals, maybe closer to 100 than 1,000, are crawling their way out towards you and pulling yourself from your chains. You circle up as you look around them. Behind the sludge monster is the obelisk, but between him and you all is a growing number of these husks.
Could we free Alien first?
No, yeah, Little's been doing this while
Okay,
Mr. Ferryman
okay.
was going. Like, all of you are now free. You're unchained.
And we're just watching Mr. Ferryman try to fight off souls with his sword.
Well, I think by the time Mr. Ferryman's done with his analysis, he's made that shout at you all. So at this moment is where I'd say now you have sort of action and free range to tell me, what do you all do as this throng of assailants is thrust upon you?
I want to make a neutral move to know what the little gods in the area desire, if there are any.
And you take a moment as this beat, and let's cut back to this because I want to sort of like narratively we'll develop this a little bit as you all watch Izzy begin to communicate with the spirits and the little gods in the area. Mr. Fairman communicates with spirits. Izzy only does little gods. As Izzy's communicating with the little gods in particular, looking to see what these magical creatures and beings can provide guidance for you. What does the group do as they, I imagine, begin to take sort of a center spot amongst you all? And from the growing circle of your ever encroaching circle of safety.
Oh my gosh, you guys are all here. Oh, I was waiting for you guys while I was just kind of like stuck in the middle and I might have just like fallen asleep a little bit.
126 messages. I sent 126 messages to the group text and not one response. Am I on mute or something? What's going on? Does anyone have my hat? Did anybody pick up my hat? Anybody?
Alien shaking her head.
You wear a hat?
Don't got it.
Yeah,
It's like
I
tucked
wear
in
a
the
hat.
back pocket.
more important things to do than look for your hat right now.
Wait a minute. I think I see it in your back. Give me that alien.
What I like, and I so I wanna. Okay, all right, you have it back now. Okay, well, I just feel that Aiden would be really excited at the prospect of a bunch of soulless people heading towards the group. So she would probably pull out her 2 daggers that compliment her, and they probably say something like, "You can do anything you put your mind to," and I'm like, Alien's like, you know what? That's so true, and I'm gonna put my mind to kill mummies.
And so as you begin to jump forward with the idea that, I can do anything I want to, you see Mr. Ferriman pull out his ethereal sword and begin to start swinging at the first group that comes up, and your daggers come out, and you begin to transform into your xenomorph as you start slashing away as the group. And
my tail is also attacking.
Yeah, absolutely. It sort of spins out and cutting as you sort of jump into a further off circle to take on a monumental amount on your own. What do Little, Ambo, and Luzon get up to?
We need to go to that obelisk. So can I help Mr. Ferryman fight the mummies?
So you guys, you want to make a beeline to the obelisk in particular?
Yeah.
I haven't actually started fighting the mummies yet.
No, sorry, I should not have said that. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
My mistake.
I just told you it's okay to kill the mummies.
That's fair.
Oh.
Okay.
So so let me make an addendum. So Alien goes to handle and sort of curb and draw some of the attention of these increasing horde of husks coming towards your way.
Wait, I'm alone in fighting? I thought you were fighting Mr. Ferryman.
I got other plans. You do you. This is your thing.
What the hell? Okay.
The little daggers say anything. He's like, honestly, sometimes you need to be team you.
Yeah, they're actually like, fuck that guy. I mean, they're like, you're better than him.
Look at that
And
horse
I'm like,
leg looking ass.
Yeah, pony legs.
So as Alien sort of draws a little bit of their attention, the group of them begins to pull them away. What do the rest all sort of get up to? Izzy is now silent in their meditation, beginning to draw upon assistance from that which you cannot see. So the other 4 of you all, what do you want to do in this moment? We hear Ambo wants to make a move towards the obelisk.
Okay. So I have 2 elemental magics where it's channel the elements and energy drains. Do those require tokens, or can I kind of do those separately?
I think if it's not a neutral move, if it's magic itself, I believe it requires energy.
Got it.
So
okay.
as a Dewata, it more or less you can what you have. As I'm looking at your thing is the option to either do it with uncanny precision for a strong move, or take it with consequence, and that's the neutral move. So
okay.
so that's basically what your that's what your token usage would be for, whether or not you do it without recompense.
Okay. Is it possible? I'm willing to use a beloved token if this is possible, but if not, I have some other ideas. Is it possible that I can take out the water and the acid and use that as an element and manifest it?
I would say at this moment it doesn't seem possible. I think
Got it.
Also because only because last episode what we established was like in order to create water required the literal little god's help, like to make a small miracle happen to make that sort of occurrence. I will say you can definitely use a token to change into your elemental form if you want to battle the sludge monster, to have like these two titans go back and forth with one another. Like I'm gonna say like that's totally fair usage if you want to try and like energy drain or engage with them in that capacity. Go for it, or truly whatever you're feeling.
Right. I don't want to shift into my giant like mecha elemental because we're in a small space and that might render this area unstable and we need to live. So instead, I take out my sword that I can manifest any of the elements. I make it manifest fire. I take it out and I say, "For friendship! For you, Ambo!" And I just swing it, protecting my best friend.
And so Luzon whips out this flaming sword and begins to swing their way through to these leathery individuals as you begin to set them ablaze and like kick one back, setting some more on fire as you push your way through. What do little Mr. Fairman and Ambo want to do as you guys are making your way? Well, actually, let me get one more, and then I think we should cut back to see what happens with Izzy and their communication. So, Ambo, Mr. Fairman, or Little, feel free to jump in.
Well, I'm personally shocked that Luzon said yelled for friendship for Ambo, because I was kind of feeling left out there. So I get inspired by Luzon, and so I charged towards the obelisk as well, so I could plug into the obelisk.
And so Luzon, pulling their flaming sword, begins trying to hack and carve away as you
have my hammer,
batting them aside behind.
The hammer,
Izzy, as you are looking for a little god's guidance and direction, you close your eyes and begin to commune with whatever will call out to you. What spirit, what little god was meant to look over this place but has long been denied access because of its corruption?
It's the snake-shaped god of good plumbing and useful toilets. And
it's
way back before the city was corrupted, they had dominion over the sewage system and made sure that all of the water was treated, that people had fresh water in their homes that flowed in and out. People never talk about the out, but it flows out.
It's important.
But with the corruption, this little god has lost its place in some sense. So,
and as you call out to it, you look, and only you begin to see the snake begin to crawl through one of the cracks of the wall itself. On top of the acid, it slurms and sort of takes up space, and as it gets into the cavern, becomes a little bit larger and pops up, and it begins to look down at you. And as it retains its full size, you look up on it and notice it's got a little mustache, and it's got a little cap with an S on it, and it's actually just wearing a giant set of overalls. And you see, "It's me! I'm the plumbing god! Make sure your pipes are great!"
No, I'm quitting the show right now.
And
Mamma mia.
Thank you, Izzy, for reaching out to me. It's been so long. I've been alone.
I'm so sorry. I know that you used to get along with everybody. Now you've been banished down here for a long time.
Well, it's tough being Sal the Snake, I tell you that much.
Yeah, I get it.
Izzy,
Listen, my friends and I
see
Go ahead.
you're in trouble. You need some help over here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do what I can, but the biggest thing is see if you can get that sludge guy closer to the acid. Just bring him closer to the wall. I'll take care of him.
Okay. You got it, Sal. Hey, thanks for putting those little shoe nets over your feet when you come into people's houses.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have feet, you're a snake.
No, but I do ride on a plastic bag when I walk into people's homes as I slither
I
across.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're from, by the way.
This accent's getting away from me. It was meant to be Italian. I felt it. I felt it all the way through. It's not really on my list of resumes. I got some better ones. Russian's what I feel comfortable with, and you can hear it coming out. But imagine a strong, thick Italiano accent. A mozzarella.
Next obelisk has to be in Italy.
It's the next one. It's the Leaning Tower of Obelisk. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna quit the show.
There you go. Somehow y'all keep coming back. So as Izzy, you communicate with Sal the Snake, Little and Mr. Ferryman. I think at this point you come out and sort of explain that the best solution is if you can somehow push this sludge creature closer towards this wall.
You said this sludge creature is absorbing the souls of the mummies?
Inside of itself, its core, it's hard to describe because it's so amorphous and ever shifting. Its long tendrils are sort of present, but somewhere inside of it, there seems to be only you could find it as someone, as a San Telmo, a soul core. There's somewhere in the sludge where they're all being bound and tied as if like by a totem
unwilling
or some, but it's like you don't know quite where in it. But yeah.
Okay. Then what I want to do is I'm going to use a weak move, earn a token, and I want to start my ghost protocols, Mission Impossible, and then one of my weak moves here is allow a lost spirit to take over your body. So I want to learn about this. So I'm just going to open up, let's say my chest cavity opens up and I'm just allowing myself to be possessed by any soul that's in there that can make the jump from that core to me.
I love this. As you sort of make forward, you have this hand you open up and your chest Cassie reveals your core itself, sort of glowing in its energy, and the acid season says, "Oh, something special," and begins to reach out and grab you. And as it grabs you, you seem to feel a connection happen, as it's trying to pull you out while you are trying to pull something from it. And so as you're sort of in the space struggling, I want to come back to you and ask, Joan, what is Little getting up to? You're muted. So there you go. No, you go.
So where am I right now?
Where do you want to be? Where were you? So you started off this thing unlocking everybody's handcuffs and getting them sort of free and situated. And as they sort of, I would say it's up to you to put where you were in position to everybody else as you were doing that. Whatever order you chose, that would have been Little's decision.
Okay. So I feel like we were kind of near this, or going through the sewage area, through that secret tunnel.
You all, if you're talking about like geographically, where are you? Like underground? Okay. Let me clarify that then. We out of character as a cast, no, you're not on that ground floor anymore. You are somewhere upper but deeper, like in the like depths of Circuit City's like just underbelly. And based on the way Mr. Ferryman had been walking and sort of gravitating and being called, you all were moved here by the acid itself to be prepared, either by it or by one of these husks sort of moving around.
Okay. Okay, so what I want to do, I kind of want to find the source of where all this acid is coming from.
I'd say if you're looking for the source of the acid, you can tell that it's drawing its mass and major like power from the wall behind itself. Like that's sort of where it's extending. The pool of acid is from whatever is behind those stones.
Mr. Ferryman, as you're engaged in this like soul swap with the blob monster, is it like, can you like move it as you move and get them closer to the wall?
Yeah, definitely ask me that right now while I'm in a soul battle with the monster. No, I don't know. Can I, Masood?
What do you think?
I feel like I'm focused on getting the soul.
Well, I imagine it like when two wizards have their wands and they're doing this, and they can kind of like move each other a little bit.
I see what you mean.
To me, it's more, at least like the way I envision it, something more akin to Avatar: The Last Airbender, where if you're aware of, like in spoilers, in season 3, when him and Ozai are in their climactic battle, they're sort of, their energies are being warped and bended amongst themselves, and they're sort of, because of that, are forced to remain motionless as that is sort of happening.
Yeah, the way I imagine it is spoilers at the end of The Exorcist, when the priest is like trying to take the demon into himself.
Yes, spoilers for the I can't
the 1979 film. The
Yeah.
Exorcist.
I did it for something that came out in 2008, so I can't say anything. Yeah.
So the answer is it sounds like no.
Okay.
But that is to say, culminating at the end, you might be able to do something. If you like, once we see the like bond resolve itself, it might be able to give you like some force or teetering. But yeah. And then I believe you were looking for where the source of the acid was coming from. Or you can tell it's something from behind the wall itself. And so what's been going on for the rest of the folks is Luzon and Ambo are clearing their way through these husks, alien slicing and dicing through their own throng. You all both are able to make it past the sludge monster as it's being paused and held in its bond with Mr. Ferryman. And in doing so, you get to the obelisk, and Ambo, you scramble quickly and plug your walkie into the port that you recalled looking for it, realizing it's back behind the wall where it was sort of on the other device. And Alien and Luzon are sort of standing at your back, just beating off these waves after waves of husks that for some
beating
reason,
off the waves.
Yeah, beating off the waves. Of these individuals coming at you. And so little Izzy, as you're seeing this sort of moment, what do Little and Izzy do as this sort of interaction's happening?
I'm kind of like really stressed out and freaked out by all this, so
Mm-hmm.
I just want to run away and hide.
Hell yeah.
Izzy picks up on that, and so she draws her broadsword, which, as we recall from episode 2, encourages bravery in the rest of the squad.
Yes. Little, is it enough to steel yourself to stay?
Okay, I'll stay because I do feel a little bit of that courage coming through. So,
I like the image of that. It's like, Izzy, you feel Little begin to turn, and like you don't actually even say anything. You just like pull your sword, and it catches on fire. And whether or not it's the actual sword itself having this aura, it's Izzy knowing that you were to leave, but still standing their ground might be inspiring enough for you to like rally to their side as well.
And then whatever, I'll throw in I'll go for friendship.
For friendship! And you begin to rush the sludge monster, knowing if there's just some way that you can just push it 10 feet back into the acid, you might be able to get to where you need to go. Mr. Fairman, you are in the soul bind with the this legion of sacrifices that are ripping and roiling in this mass, somewhere concentrated in one space. But as the bond forms, it begins to unfurl from its swirling and sort of writhing center and begin to latch onto you to create a connection, trying to draw you in and pull you out. What is it like for you to draw a single soul out to your aid?
I think it is something I can only do with like lost spirits or troubled souls, because that's my whole job as the ferryman between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I'm just talking to souls, but for let one take me over, it has to be, in crisis or in pain. And then I think it's like having an out-of-body experience for me, because they take over my body.
Yeah.
And I can, I guess, influence them. I can't speak to them directly per se.
Yeah.
But I could, for instance, influence them to be like, tell us what happened here, or I just sit back and enjoy the ride. It depends on who is in the driver's seat.
I think you reach out and you make a connection with a single spirit at first. And
Italian one?
It's you can't tell immediately where its voice and accent of origin are, but you can generate more of a vibe on. Unlike some of the other sacrifices, this one might not have been one who chose to baptize themselves in the acid. This would have been someone that was forced into doing so, similar, I imagine, to a situation that you are in. And as you pull and see a little more about the soul, you understand that this was someone who was looking for the obelisk themselves, not for the ability to control magic, but because there had been a rumor about it. This is an archaeologist. At one point, searching the histories of Circuit City, rumors of something deep underneath, worth discovering and sharing with the world. But they didn't realize that underneath the city was almost just as much alive as above, and unfortunately lost their life and were unable to cross over to Sulad due to the corruption that was present in the acid itself. What do you say to this spirit?
I say, I think I want to influence it to, first of all, explain what the sludge monster is, or how they got in there and how to defeat the sludge monster.
Hey man, we don't know what we are. We're just a collection of individuals, alright? We're trying to do what we can, but no one really has one overarching say than anybody else, alright?
Okay. How can we get you out of there?
I mean, needs to be a collective decision. If we all agree to leave, then it's more likely, but to convince the total community, maybe with your help, I could have some sway.
All right.
The crux is destroying the anchor, or at least separating it from the asset itself, which I think I know a way to do. And you feel something grab your hand as your energy is pulled across this bond into the actual sludge monster, as you begin zooming around and speaking and trying to convince the other spirits within this mass to resist the pull of the core and to release themselves from its bind. And in this moment, Izzy and Little, you all are pushing forward through these masses, getting closer to the base. And you all realize the thing about this sludge monster is, while it's locked in this place, it's tall. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Even if it's not a solid piece, it still could splat if it was to tumble over. And looking at two of its limbs that are on the ground, you all think those might be your best bets to be able to unhinge it. What are Alien and Luzon doing while Ambo is engaging with the obelisk, trying to get everything set up and turn it off?
Can we ask Ambo to toss us that sweet metal rope from earlier that we used to get down here?
Ooh.
And Little and Izzy will run around the legs of this monster and entrap it.
Mm-hmm. And so you begin to take the rope and wrap it around itself while how do you aid in this action? Because you all are together.
I feel so brave right now. So I just discovered that I could grow like animal body parts within my body. So, I just got like the lungs of a lion inside, and so I'm just like breathing really hard and just like pulling the ropes.
Hell yeah. And so you just have more dude, it's weird. Like, you could say bravery makes you bold, or it could be the lion's lungs, but you're like pulling harder and like gripping and like creating this like rope trap with such efficiency and precision in this moment, as also battling off throngs of these husks that are trying to surround you two. Speaking of this, Alien, Luzon, what's going on with you all as these groups of individuals begin? What's the term? I've used a lot of adjectives, and I'm trying not to double dip. Shambling, as these husks shamble towards you in this space.
I'm like setting them on fire left and right, but I'm making sure I have enough time to talk to my new best friend Alien. And I'm just asking her great questions to get to know her at a really opportune time like this. Like, hey, like what was your childhood like? Like as an Aswang, like how'd you grow up? Like, do you have any like cool tidbits from that? As I slash and slash and slash.
And I'm like groaning like, oh, but Luzon thinks that I'm just like fighting so hard that that's why I'm groaning. So yeah, I'm just trying to focus on the fighting, which brings me joy, and not the talking, which does not bring me joy.
But I bet your little daggers are like, be emotionally vulnerable. You can do it. We believe in you.
Open up to someone for once.
All right, that's from my therapist daggers.
Those aren't compliments. That's just advice. You don't have. I didn't build therapist blades. Okay, I built blades to compliment you and boost your ego. No, no.
Okay.
Well, sounds like your
then my
invention is malfunctioning.
Or becoming
how
self-aware.
weird. Yeah.
Goes to the shell.
Those daggers have rights now.
To go to therapy. This portion of the show brought to you by therapy. Have you gone yet? You should.
Have you gone yet, though? And so while they're engaging, Ambo, you're struggling and trying to work. What does it look like as you are gaining access to this obelisk? And how is it easier? Is it harder? Do you what does it look like as this is the second one you're trying to get access to?
So it's a little bit easier in the sense that I've already I know what to expect, but it's harder because there's so much fighting and chaos going around. The last obelisk that we were at, we were able to defeat those robot animals before, so we didn't have pressure. But now every single percentage that goes up, so right now it's at like 57%. Every percentage, I'm just sweating because everybody's fighting around me. And there would be like a mummy that could come up. Could I hit it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, could I do that?
Like pops up,
as I'm doing.
You do one of those cool ones where it's like about to pop, but it's there, so you pop without even looking back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
but it's a bunch of information. Yeah.
You're getting that download, and you're looking on it. It's weird. It feels like it's taking longer because obviously the pressure, and you're paying so much attention to it because obviously what's happening. But also it feels like it's taking longer. Like something is gunking it up and slowing the access for you. And as Mr. Ferriman, you are swirling and meeting with your Russian proletariat friend inside the heart of this swirling mass. You reach and talk to a lot of these spirits. What do you promise them? What do you convince them? Why should they no longer listen to the core that had been sort of using them as a power source?
I'm telling them that this is against the natural order, because that's what I'm most concerned with. That they have been robbed of a normal afterlife in Sulad, where everyone's soul is supposed to go. If they don't like it, they don't have a choice. Because I will restore the balance and do what's best for them, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, man, listen to my friend. He's kind of crazy, all right? He opened it up. He willingly walked and made a connection with an acid monster. And honestly, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm ready to see the other side. I don't know about you all. I mean, yeah, it's kind of boring on here. Once you've seen one husk, you kind of seen them all. And you hear a chattering of voices grow louder and louder and kind of agree before suddenly this one final voice goes, "Yes, that's brilliant. Let's get out of here." And the collection of souls gather, and you see it from the outside, Izzy, and Little, as you've been pulling up this trap, Luzone and Alien, as you're grabbing the even though the acid monster itself was standing still, motionless, it was moving. Its fluid, its shape was undulating as it was trying to maintain its form. And for a moment, even that stops. And suddenly you see the arm, the appendage that was holding on to Mr. Ferriman splosh down to the ground, collapsing into just regular acid and sludge as Mr. Ferriman sort of stumbles back. And the moment you look up, waiting for your cue, they'll activate. So how do you cue them, Mr. Ferryman? Do you shout for friendship?
Oh yeah, that would be the good callback. Yeah, I shout for friendship.
And
That's third.
suddenly, all from the center, it compacts itself as if you were looking at one of those as seen on TV's spacer bags where you vacuum out all the air. That's what happens to this acid monster as it sort of implodes on itself and begins to spew something. The rest of y'all can't tell, but it's clear a wind or energy is being pulled out. But Mr. Ferryman, with your eyes, you can clock the outpouring of souls begin to shuffle and push and squeeze out of this monster. And as they pull, they begin to swirl above you, spinning before descending and falling into an individual husk along the ground, each one shooting into one of them. And as you're doing it, Alien, this is occurring, and you go to swipe one. Before you swipe it, you see it almost act like as if it's struck by something else, and it collapses to the ground, motionless. And you see more and more of the shambling husks moving, getting towards a collapse, fall motionless, as the acid monster begins to struggle. No, all my food, my substance, and begins to slip and trips on the wire and falls back into the rocks where Sal, the snake, has been waiting, wrapping him up, falling in and out of the rocks as if binding him to it. You hear Sal shout to Izzy, now! Now! To tell to Ambo.
Wait, what was the last part?
To relay to Ambo to go now.
Ambo! Hit it!
Ambo, you look, the gauge that had been sort of clogged and sludged shoots up, gets it to the top, and you go and you press the last button on the obelisk, and the ground itself begins to shift and shake, and suddenly you're looking back as the acid wall begins to rumble and move, and the acid that was wrapped underneath Sal begins to push back into the wall itself as if being absorbed back in, till a singular piece of technology, a metal orb, is sitting on top of the rocks, the only thing that couldn't get through. And you see all the acid pull back and back and back in. And as the last drop comes in, you hear a single drop of water from the top down, and suddenly fresh, clean water begins to pulse out through these rocks, pushing forward, spinning and making its way through, filling up the routes underneath the city itself. As we track and follow, we look as the acid from the sewers begin to slowly dissipate and change into fresh drinking water.
You guys, Franklin and Drinklin are gonna be so happy.
Take that, Jesus. Ain't so hard after all.
I hope somebody. I really hope somebody clips that and just has that follow you forever.
I'll stand by.
I stand by it. Take that, Jesus. So what do y'all do? Yeah. You have this moment where you witness all of this occur. What happens with the group?
You guys, look what the power of friendship has brought.
You're right, Luzone. Ambo. I'm so sorry earlier for not responding to your texts.
What?
I'm muted. But right now, I'm going to take my phone and unmute you. Because
Ambo,
friendship matters.
I agree. I'm also sorry that I didn't notice when a pipe lifted you off my backpack and you got stuck there dangling like a little baby boy after the stork delivers him. And I just want to apologize for that and say you're a valued member of this team. Sorry you had that bag on your head. You looked ridiculous. And thanks for doing everything.
Hey, Ambo, I'm really sorry that I kept talking to you so much during the walk over that you kept hitting your face into the wall. And I'm gonna try to just, I know what you need from me. You need more friendship from me, and you need me to be there for you even more. Because if I had been there like a real friend, you wouldn't have been taken.
These are facts.
So I'm so sorry, Ambo, for not being there, but I'm not going to unmute you because you only text one word at a time and then you just take up a whole block. I'm sorry, but facts are facts.
Take that, Jesus.
I don't take apologies or compliments well.
Take that, Jesus.
I don't like to talk much. I don't have that many friends. I'm
Take
embarrassed
that,
right
Jesus.
now. So yeah, fine. Well, let's just get out of here, okay?
Is someone feeling a little shy?
A little bit. A little bit.
Do we need a brave sword, you? Do you need a little bit? Do you need help?
Should I
A
take?
brave sword?
What about a compliment dagger?
No, I don't need more compliments. Stop focusing on me. No, it's enough. That's enough. That's
What if we all?
I forgive you. I forgive you. Okay, we're done here. Okay.
Ambo, what if we all tickle you?
Should we tickle you?
No, I don't like to be tickled. The river cult tickled me, and that's how they bullied me. They tickled me. They tickled my little tummy, and I didn't like it. Okay. Okay, this is bringing me back terrible memories. I was lost. Okay.
You hear
I was
a
lost.
single
No,
spirit.
no.
Mr. Fairman goes by you and like whispers in your ear, "Holy crap, is that Ambo? Man, we used to tickle the shit out of that guy back in the day. Oh,
No.
good times."
Okay, stop. All right. Okay, could you just put me back in your backpack, Mr.
Okay, get my
Ferryman, and let's
backpack.
just get it. Thank you. Lift me up, please.
Okay, Gucci.
Stop.
All right, now I put it in my backpack. Just a little slight tickle.
And you guys begin to make your way out of the sewers. It's a difficult process navigating, considering you all don't really know how you got there, even Mr. Ferryman. But the water ends up being a better guide than anything else, at least from this area. Following its structure, seeing where it flows, you're able to make it back to the first sort of ground floor. And then from there, with a little bit of troubleshooting with your map in relation to where you were from above, I think Ambo's able to rig his GPS on his walkie and then share with you all the correct route. And so you all make your way back through, and as you gaze up at the well from which you dove into, kind of like the butthole of the city, into the sewer system, looking at how you need to get out. What's interesting, though, particularly about it, is while the sewer water may be clean, you can still see there is acid flowing from above. The water underneath the city, the reservoir system, has been purified, but that isn't changing and stopping the pollution and the chemicals in the air sort of descending into and changing the ecosystem from above. Did anyone grab the wire? I imagine one of you grabbed the metal rope from the individual. You all probably fashion a grappling hook of some kind and pull your way up. Mr. Ferryman only mentions that he could have flown twice as you guys scramble up through here, and then you're back into the regular city. And unlike the previous moment when you did interact with the obelisk and felt the air sort of shift, that change seems to end the moment you cross above the sort of the ground floor of Circuit City. The air returns to its corrupted sort of smog-filled state. It's back to being difficult to breathe. The cacophony of sounds reemerges. The old, out-of-date ads running on loop, telling you, "Hey, now's your chance to sign up for Audible. Get 9 months free with Audible Direct." And on repeat throughout. Once again, we're not sponsored by Audible, but you know what it sounds like. And it's just playing, and it's really annoying. But you're back. You made it through. You survived a trek, and you handled the river cult.
Wow.
Where do you all go?
I think we deserve a treat.
Dutch babies?
Dutch babies.
Well, can we go back to Luzon's place if we're being tracked?
I think from your knowledge, what you gathered from Alan's sort of say-so was they were looking for you. They might not have known directly where you were, but it does feel, at least right now, I imagine you haven't had any indication that they knew where you all slept, because they would have murdered you in your sleep then.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but that was on a different ring, right? Like we'd have to go back through the sewers to
Yeah,
get back?
no. Well, you can just take the elevator. You're back on the regular sort of place. I mean, you could try to go through the sewers and find some back alley service way that like gives you access to other parts of the city. But I honestly, the butthole of the city, make your way around. That is good to remember and think about, though, if you guys ever need to try to like travel fast or make an indiscriminate route, that maybe having access to a sewer system through one of the other gateways could give you a little more utility than, say, the major roads would. Now all you have to deal with is maybe more river cult individuals. Who knows? And so you all make your way back onto the bottom level of the pleasure ring, right above the actual exit to the sewer system, and progress, making your way back to Luzon's manor on the, I believe it was the fifth ring. And so you're positioning yourself up. You all make it home. What does it look like for you all as you guys get back and get yourself situated? What do you all do to decompress from 5 out of 6 of your kidnappings?
Well, I turn the oven on and get those Dutch babies from this morning going again.
It's that
breakfast for dinner.
Great thing about Dutch babies, you can honestly stop them in their cooking process and then just pick them up. It like good as new.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I hurry into the kitchen. I grab my seat by the oven, and I'm eagerly awaiting Izzy to cook up those Dutch babies.
I am pretending to help by sitting close to them, but not actually helping, because I'm in the middle of another game of Snake. But I made Ambo upgrade it, so now it's Snakes and Ladders.
Oh.
And the snake looks like Sal.
Yes. It also makes a little like accent sound and be like, I go up the ladder.
Oh.
Yes.
Dang, it's really accurate sound it makes. I think that even though I didn't get captured, I had a pretty stressful time, so I need to rewind with my friends.
Yeah.
So is everyone
you almost got possessed by a slime monster. Like,
came very near. Yes.
And didn't you fall into acid?
Yes, but I've got robot horse legs, so I guess it was okay. I think that while everyone's getting the Dutch babies ready, I'm queuing up the entertainment for tonight, which is 1973's The Exorcist, that I'm going to play on my hollow projectors from my eyes.
Talk about how it was the inspiration for your move for what happened.
Yeah, I'm going to talk over the whole movie.
Yeah.
The scene is great. You guys are going to love this scene. Hang on. William Friedkin knocked it out of the park on this one. He was mostly a theater actor before booking this. Anyways, that's...
But on my hand, I would be scared too. What does Ambo, Little, and the rest of y'all? What's Ambo, Alien? What are you all doing as Izzy's getting these Dutch babies prepared?
I go to my little hill, my little mound that's next to. I shrink myself down even more and go inside of my little workshop mound, and I shut the door. I take off my hat and I just start crying.
Oh, bud.
Just someone you need to get tickled.
He's like,
I lock the little doors too.
What is the cry? God. Is the cry about the kidnapping, or is the cry an acknowledgement that you actually have people who care about you? Like there was a lot of things that you're processing in this movie. Yeah.
It's that. It's a kidnapping, but mainly it's people actually care about me, and I've never really had that before. So
our friendship.
Yeah, I don't want to show anybody yet, but they're slowly breaking me down. So I'm crying and playing with my train set.
Oh, I love it.
Well, what I was gonna say me knowing that you are gonna go to your house and cry. Because I was gonna sit down with everyone else with the Dutch babies and say, hey, remember when Ambo got caught on a little thing and was hanging for a while we ignored his 100 million tax, and we were gonna have a big laugh about it, but now that just feels mean. So
I mean, you can still do that.
It feels mean. Okay.
You can still do that. I'm by myself inside my little house.
Yeah. Okay. That makes it feel a little meaner if you're talking behind his back. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna sit with us, so never mind. I'm just going to eat the Dutch baby and hang out with my friends.
Oh, Izzy, these are great. Oh my gosh. You really nailed them. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Eventually, Mr. Fairman gets everything settled for the viewing of The Exorcist. Ambo, do you come back inside to watch it?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, good. I had a whole list of options. I was like, you ignore it. You watch it from outside the manor, looking through a window.
I'm in the corner.
Read the subtitles.
Yeah. Like text you guys to put on the subtitles from outside.
I'm all the way in the back though, on a shelf, just like climbed up on the shelf and just like watch it, just sitting there.
Harrison, some would say you were an elf on a shelf.
Hey, no, don't say that. That's messed up. That's no. That duendes don't like that. Okay.
Sorry,
you may be elves.
I'm an omniscient narrator voice talking about things that I see, and I see an elf on a shelf. So
I get down off of the shelf because I think people are just saying that.
The group chat is filled with people sending elf on a shelf memes, and you're like, I don't get. I get it now. So you climb down, and you guys get yourself situated in for a nice evening of fun and relaxation and celebration. You guys, this is big. You hit 2 out of 3. You made major progress. And Ambo, you think you could probably, now with the signal a little bit stronger, if maybe you set up some receivers below, you might be able to see and bounce the signal a little bit to see where that third location might be. But at least right now it's worth celebrating and enjoying yourselves for a job well done. As you all go around and congratulate one another, enjoying your time together, eventually get yourself situated for an evening of rest and relaxation. You close your eyes and go to sleep. And you're awoken by an explosion as a hole in Luzon Manor is ripped open as a series of dropships begin to descend on the manor itself. And that is where we're going to leave for this episode of Balikbayan Returning Home. Guys, let's go around and do our introductions, our closings, our outros. Tell folks who you are, where they can find you on the internet, and what is the thing you hate about me the most. Let's start with Harrison, and we'll work our way around.
Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Harrison Happen. Wait, don't we usually say where to find us?
Yeah, where to find yourself on the internet.
Yeah, okay. So you can find me on Twitter at Harrison_Happen or on Instagram where I'm more active. Harrison is happening. You can also find me on PlayStation, Apex, My Road to Diamond, okay?
Ooh.
All right, got to get there before the season split. Also, if you have any leads on PS5s, I'm willing to pay a little bit more than what they're charging on those secondhand sites. So DM me, please. Okay, I got to get Cyberpunk 20
whatever the number
77.
is.
It comes out tomorrow. You don't have a lot of time,
Actually,
my friend.
I think it already came out. I think it came out at like 6 p.m. today. But it's out.
Well, you blew it.
And
you
we
blew
can talk about that game later. Up next, why don't we go? Let's work our way around. Let's go with Shu.
My name is Shu, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Hello There Shu. Hello there, and X as in X-ray, U as in U-turn. My least favorite thing about Masood is that he just created a move where some people kicked a hole in my house. A lot of crown molding in there. There was a lot of like really nice stuff. But because I said something mean about my friend, I'm going to say something really positive. Masood has like a really good like radio voice. You know, like I really want him to start like narrating like children's book, like 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 100 fish. I don't know this book, but I would like Masood to narrate that.
I'll talk to my manager and we'll see what can be in the works. Would you believe me if I told you that I was a DJ in college, and my DJ handle was Monsoon in the mornings?
Oh, I could so see that.
It's a terrible time for a monsoon. Not that there was ever a good time for a monsoon, but yeah, it was. Hey, you're listening to WPGU 107.1. It's Monsoon in the Mornings, playing the best in Champaign-Urbana's alternative music. We've got the best coming up, keeping it tight and locked in with the Arctic Monkeys and Muse coming up along the way. This is WPGU 107.1. It was a fun time, man.
Retract like the last 50 words I just said.
Thank you. And I'm here to make people feel uncomfortable. And someone who knows a lot about this, Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, Ben Cummings here. You can find me online, Twitter and Instagram at Ben Cummings, all one word. Cumings. Only one M, because we blew it. We were somewhere along the way. What was I supposed to say? What I hate most about you?
What you hate most about me? That's an option.
There's a long list.
Yeah.
What I hate most about you is that in the before times, we didn't have a chance to be on stage together more.
That's fair. You know what I hate?
Because I really could have taught you so much. I could have gotten you so much better.
That was a Ben Cummins moment.
Wow.
I was about to be like, you know what I regret? We never got a chance to cook together because now we can't do that because we said we would do that.
That's true. Yeah.
I think actually either way, I would appreciate your instruction. I'm sure I would have learned a lot. Usra, I realized I skipped over you for my zinger about Ben, so we'll have to come out to you to complete this bottom row. Tell us about yourself, where can find you on the internet, and what you hate most about me.
Okay, hi, I'm Usra. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kanye, KHANYE__West. And what I hate most about Masood is that his apartment is always so clean. It's like, how do you do that? That's not fair.
Yeah. That is a good one.
So clean.
You only see this corner.
No. I've been to your house.
I've been in like every room.
Once upon a time.
I just knew I had people coming over, and it's a lot of pressure to put it.
Oh, stop! You're clean.
Don't tell my friends that. Don't tell my parents that. How dare they know that they raised a clean boy?
Yeah, well, that's what I hate about you, because I come over and I'm like, wow, I'm not as clean as Masood, and how dare you?
How dare I? After I'm making you all go through the sewer today as well. Harrison, tell us a little bit ourselves where you can find where we can find you on. Oh no, we actually we did.
So what I hate about Masood is that he went to me twice. I think
I got my overlays messed up. I'm looking at my Zoom window versus my Twitch window. Erica is in the top left corner of my Twitch window. Erica, answer the questions.
Yeah. So I'm Erica Geyser on the internet. I'm mostly on Instagram, so you can find me there at Bebica_says. And what do I hate about Masood the most? There's so many things, obviously. But I just hate that you asked this question and are making us all give you backhanded compliments.
Honestly, it wasn't the direction. I was figured you'd be mad at me for leaving you on a cliffhanger, and I thought that was the jumping point where like, he always makes us leave on a cliffhanger. His pacing is too good. Well, okay, maybe I was looking for backhanded compliments. I don't know. Joan, what's going on with you?
Hey, you can find me on Instagram at Saint Joan. I don't post, so there's no point in following me. And the thing I hate about you, Masood, is that you are so great at doing impressions. It comes so naturally out.
Me? This a guy? Yeah, it's real good.
I mean, I'm not talking about the Russian impression today, but like the old, I don't know, like the old man in the mountain thing you did before. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It is something I hate about myself. Hi, I'm Masood. You can find me on the internet at Marudboy, MAHRUDEBOI. And something I hate about me, I hate that I wish I was 5'11". I'm 5'10", and I like that should be good. But like, there's a part of me that's like, man, if I was 5'11", I could lie and say I was 6 foot. And for some reason, that is a thing that irks me. It was also because my doctor said, he was like, dude, looking at your wingspan, you're gonna be a tall kid. Your feet and your hands grew in before the rest of you. You're gonna get there, and it didn't happen. And I'll be honest, I should be very happy. I should be I'm very grateful for my size and my frame. But it's just like it's a weird thing.
Are you and Ben the same height?
I'm 5'10".
I love that you wish to be 5'11" so that you can lie about being.
Nobody who's 6 foot is actually 6 foot. Everyone who's 6 foot is 5'11" for sure.
I'm 5'11" and a half. I always say 6 feet.
Look at that! Look at this shit. And then anyone who's above 6 foot says they're 6'1" or 6'2". Like when you're 6+, you say you're 6'1" because it sounds more impressive.
I told my partner that I didn't want to date anyone over 6'2", so he's like, I'm exactly 6'2", and I found out later that was a lie, and I can't tell because I'm too short.
And now you're married. What does that mean?
Whatever.
But anyways, yes, we've been Stir Friday Night. We're playing Balikbayan. We'll be back next week. Come check us out. If you haven't or you don't know, you can also follow us on YouTube and on Twitter, like we've mentioned. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
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 All in 7 days.